Hey y'all, it's 4 o'clock and you are on Rosetree Blown Glass Studio and Galleries Facebook Live broadcast. Okay, we have a little problem to start here. The problem is this. Darcy, my faithful videographer, is off today because her dad's in town, so she's out enjoying herself with her dad. And Brenda, my wife, is supposed to be our relief pitcher when Darcy is out. But we have some customers who came in a little bit ago and are buying some pieces, and Brenda's the only one up there that can help them. So she should be down in a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, I'm going to go through our Mother's Day table and just show you a few things. And let's see, Mother's Day is May 9th, and we're going to start over here at our bottle stoppers, and the wine bottle stoppers are $50 each. We have a classic wisteria, number 2, it's our Midnight Blue Classic, and number 3 is our Midnight Blue Round Wisteria, and those are $180 a piece. And then we have some wine goblets, which are $49 each, and some new additions. We have some heart bowls. We have the red, gold, and white up front, and the rainbow in back, and those are $98 a piece. Now, if I could figure out how to get your messages, nope. Oh, here we go. Hi. Hey, Jennifer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap dance for a while. It's hard to blow glass one-handed, so I can't hold the camera and demonstrate. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over here and just point out some equipment real fast for those of you who have not been here before. It's the way we're doing this is just as if you would come into the studio and just enjoying a chat with me while I'm working, and you ask some questions. If you're new here, please put your down in your comments that you're new, and don't be afraid to ask questions, because I'm sure there are other people out there that have the same question as you. And so what we'll do is we'll start first with the furnace. So this is my furnace, and in the furnace I have a crucible, which is actually a big ceramic bowl, and that's what actually holds the glass. And the glass is 2,050 degrees, and at that temperature the glass stays a liquid. So if you look back here, this is actually my barometer. That little red glow will tell me will just tell me how hot the furnace is. So it's at 2,050 right now. So let's see what we can do here. Let's open this up. Let's see what we got. Okay, if you see those things that are hanging down that are glowing, those are called molybdenum elements. And those are a very high temperature element, just like in your oven, except for these go up to, I think their top end is 2,500 to 2,800 degrees. So that's what we use to melt. Kristen, any plans to have classes soon? Our plans are, we don't usually have the blow your owns during the summertime because it's just so hot in here. So our plans will be, we will start them up in September, and we'll post when they're going to start, and they will fill very quickly. So if you do see the post of when they're going to be, you need to get in quickly, because like I said, it's been over a year and people are really getting thirsty for that. So, yeah, Shatney, that if you can see inside the furnace, let's try that again. So you can see right here there's a line, and that's the level of my glass. Close that up because everything's getting hot. This is what we call a pipe warmer, and the end of the pipes have to be hot for the glass to stick on them. So each pipe has to be heated up before you get it out of the furnace, before you gather it out of the furnace. And then once you gather out of the furnace, the main workplace is here. And this is my reheating chamber. And the reheating chamber is about, it's hotter than the furnace, so it's about 2,200 degrees or so. And we go back and forth in there, reheating the piece when it cools off, and then just using it to heat the piece up to shape it up again. Anyway, I have my beautiful bride is here, so I'm going to hand this over to her, and we can go on with what we're normally doing. Hi. Okay, so anyway, thank you all for coming. You're at Rosetree Blown Glass Studio and Gallery in beautiful downtown historic Algiers Point, Louisiana. And like I said, Darcy's not here today, and Brenda will be the voice behind the camera, my lovely bride and co-owner of Rosetree. We are festing in place today. So for those of you who aren't really familiar with Jazz Fest is a huge deal down here. It goes for 2 weekends and days in between. Usually the last weekend of April, first weekend of May, and it is canceled this year. And this will be the traditional weekend for it. So we're doing what's called Festing in Place. The local radio show station WWOZ 90.7 on your FM dial is doing a what they call Festing in Place, which is concert recordings from the history of Jazz Fest. And it's not just jazz, it's rock, it's funk, it's pop, it's all different kinds of musical genres. So if you have nothing to do, or actually even if you have something to do, you should turn into WWOZ. It runs from 11 o'clock, which is a traditional opening of Fest every day, up until 7 o'clock. So you'll find some really, there was a Ella Fitzgerald today, and also there was a Richie Havens, which was killer. So yeah, look at it, look it up online, WWOZ on Facebook, and you can find what's called the Cubes, and that'll tell you who's playing at what time. That's my commercial for OZ.
And I'm going to say hi to everybody.
All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to make a paperweight. We're going to make a paperweight with a flower inside. So I thought of something, just kind of Mother's Day is coming up, something kind of mothers would like. So paperweight is it. It'll be 3 layers. First layer will be green. Second layer will have the flower. So the green will be like the stamen. Not the stamen. What's the part that comes up? I know you people out there know this. Part that the flower sits in. The green bud part thing. That's going to be the first layer. Second layer will have the flower, which will be a white and blue flower. Third layer will be the clear crystal over top to encase that.
Jennifer wants to know, do you have to keep the punty hot too?
Yes. Glass won't stick to something that's not hot. Metal or whatever. So the punnies are up there. Anything I'm going to gather glass out of the furnace with is going to be warm first. So.
All right, and this is the colors that he's going to be using today. All right.
So we're going to go get some glass out of the furnace. This isn't actually a blowpipe, this is a punty. A punty is a rod. It's a hollow rod, but it's closed off on both ends. It's hollow just to make it lighter. And this is what I use to get the glass out on something that's like a solid sculpture. So this is my first layer. And again, the glass is a liquid at this point. If I stop turning, it'll drip. So we keep turning all the time.
Well, Darcy's so good at all this now, so I'm giving it my best shot.
Well, you don't have to get the bubble coming out, which everybody's amazed at. So I'm working this kind of from the inside out is how it works. So I'm putting the green powder on the very tip. And I'm going to do that probably 3 times. And then shape it up. So the reheating chamber, like I said, is about 2200 degrees. It is only on when we're working. So we turn it on in the morning and turn it off in the evening. The furnace stays on 24/7. So I'm doing 3 layers of the powder. It's actually a grain, just to get some nice density in it.
So Jennifer's asking, we have smaller grit for the colors today?
It's a like I said, it's a powder or a 00 is what they call it, which is the size of it. So everything is going to be the powder or the 00. But just a different way of layering the color on. Alright, so then I'm going to use my ice pick. I'm going to comb this a little bit and make a little petal on the bottom thing that nobody's given me the answer to what it is called. Actually, Tracy's on. Tracy, you should know what that is. So I'm just taking this and I'm pulling back. I'm going to heat that up again.
So Tracy said what? She must have missed it.
Pay attention to the class, Tracy. The part underneath the flower, that's the bud that opens up. What's that called? That stays on the flower?
You're not talking about the stem.
No, between the stem and the flower. There's that green
Is
thing
it
that holds.
stamen?
No, the stamen's on the inside.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
And then I'll kind of pull the back a little bit.
Pistol.
Is it?
Thanks, Tracy.
Okay, so you see it's kind of like leaves right now. And I'm going to smooth that out a little bit. So when I'm in the reheating chamber, I'm always turning, I'm trying to get the glass back to a liquid state to smooth it out. So if I stop turning, then gravity takes over and it starts to drip like honey or molasses. Alright, and now we wait. Actually, let me untwist that a little bit.
So Shatney says, love the technique of glass art.
Thank you. It's kept me interested in for 42 some odd years now. So there's got to be something to it. So what'll happen is later I'm going to poke into it and that'll bring that green down to make that What do we call it?
Pistil.
Pistil. Okay. So next I'm going to get another layer of glass on top and work on the flower. And the flower is going to be very similar to what we did for the pistil. We're going to do 4 leaves on it, just because 4 is a nice even number and it's easier to get something that's consistent and even. Alright, so another layer.
So people are saying hi. Hi, guys.
Who's saying hi?
Barry and Tracy and lots of them saying hi to me.
Well, good. I'd like to know who's watching that. All right, so you can see the green is on the inside now, and I'm going to go for the white, and I'll do that a couple times, a couple more times, just so I get some nice dense white on there.
It's hard for me with this handle.
What?
It's hard for me holding this handle. Christy's on.
Oh, Christy,
She said, sorry I missed you guys when we were in town with that rain.
I was just going to say that.
There was a lot of rain.
Rain was crazy. That was your year's worth of California rain in one day.
Barry, we're making a paperweight with a flower inside it.
So the white is on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to point it up a little bit. I want blue just in the center of the white. So by shaping this like I did, put the blue just in the center. And again, I'll put a few, just because the grain size is so small, I got to put a lot of layers on to build up the density of it.
Like you said, the pipe's constantly turning. So that was 3 times with the blue color.
It was 3 with everything.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I don't know.
Alright, so the next step is going to be pulling petals. I'm going to even this off. Get it really hot. First thing I'm going to do actually is kind of backwards. Pull it in.
tip.
Getting that way. I'm going to heat it up. I'm going to pull them down next. So I hope everybody's doing well. It's, the weather here has been gorgeous. I mean, if this was the first day at Jazz Fest, it's like an A+.
Yeah, it's what, 70 degrees today and
Yeah,
sunny.
Beautiful. So I'm going to pull from the middle and grab some of that blue. For those petals. So now it's looking more, I'm going to pull that in a little bit more. I know what the Midwest is getting like in the 30s now.
Yeah. North Carolina last night got in the 30s.
Crazy weather patterns.
I talked to your mom yesterday, and she actually lost electricity with a storm.
Huh. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up and smooth everything out. So you see, I have like the white with, and that's blue on the inside of the white, and then there's green behind.
So Shatney said it's 45 and sunny on Cape Cod.
Oh, nice.
And Barry said it's chilly, like 42 with the wind chill. It'll be interesting to see if Jazz Fest is in October, what the weather's like.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's not that season that we like not to talk about. So I am smoothing that out, and then what I'm going to do is take my jacks. I'm going to push them in. And what that'll do is you see how they're more petal shaped now, and inside underneath you see the pistil, the leaves coming around and then going down in. So I'm going to get my final gather over top of this, and you'll see the flower a little bit easier. And I'm going to use that hole will be a bubble that'll be kind of like the center of the flower. Okay, one last gather.
It always amazes me. I've been watching you blow glass about, what, 36 years? And it's always fascinating.
This is a wood block, and the wood block is fruit wood that's soaked in water. So fruit wood has a nice grain to it that does not burn as quickly as other woods would. And actually, you can kind of see, you see how it's looking more like a flower with the with the bubble being more like the stamen, and you can see the pistil at the bottom. I don't know if does that read okay on there? Can you see it? Then I'll come back and use the jacks to put in my jack line where it's going to separate from here.
So Christy says magical, and Barry agreed it's always fascinating, and Tracy said it's gorgeous. And Shatney says, love it, never gets boring, and every piece is unique. And Betty said, beautiful workmanship.
Okay, so I'm cutting in the jack
He's
line.
talented.
To work on the shape a little bit more. So this would get, now the heat is really thick, so it's kind of hot still on the inside. So what I have to do now is cool it down, and to cool it down is letting the inside kind of dissipate, the heat dissipate out, and I'll just flash it a couple times. So the outside comes up the temperature to be more like the inside temperature, just so there's not a big variance across the whole piece. So you see,
Of course, when it cools off, it'll be
you
blue.
get blue, right?
Blue and white
you'll see
and
the
green.
the green underneath.
But it doesn't look green right now.
So it's just, I'll do that a couple more times. You see, if I stop, see how hot it is? I mean, it's hot enough that it's moving still. So I get it to the point where it's not moving.
Yeah, you can kind of see how it's dripping.
I haven't done these in a while. Just something different. I like the optics in it. The layering of the petals over the
Barry
pistil.
says, now that's a big marble.
It is a big marble, but it's not really a marble because the bottom's going to be flat. Actually, my marbles are about this size now. They're about 3 inches, 3 1/4. And if we had Jazz Fest, you'd be able to see them.
I know, we're dreaming.
We do really, really well with the marbles at Fest. The marbles have so much stuff going on. So you see now it's kind of the point where the outside is cooler than the inside, but because it's not moving, I know the inside is cooling down more than it was before. So I'm going to heat up the outside again.
See, that still looks red.
It is.
At the bottom.
It is.
Instead of green.
But it's not as hot as it was before. So what I'm doing is just trying to even off the temperatures in here. So doing the cool down and all this other that goes with it just takes a long time for Paperweight, because Paperweight is so thick. With the blown piece, I could just stop doing what I'm doing, you know, when it's done on the punty, and put it away because it's a lot thinner than this. So this is, 3 inches thick. It takes a while for it to cool down. I'll do it one more time, and then what I'll do is I'll use my file. A little bit more. So I'm just looking to see that it's not moving. Yeah, and that blue, it looks more on the green side, but it's a nice blue to end up. So I'm using the file with water just like I would when I transfer.
And they'll see it on Tuesday, right?
Yes. Yeah, this is just a off piece. I'm not making for an order. So really, all I do is I'm going to just actually cooling it this way also. I don't want the impression of the fabric to come on top. Okay, then I hit it, comes off.
Now, what is that fabric?
It's a high temperature fabric. Oop. Nope, that won't work. Mark needs to put gloves on. Okay, so there's the flower. And what will happen is it'll cool down. In the annealing oven, it'll go from 920. Well, now it's hotter at 920. It'll go down to 920 and then settle there and across the whole piece, and then slowly cool about 14 hours, 16 hours or so down to room temperature. When that's done, we let it sit for a day or so just to make sure it's perfectly cool, perfectly temperature-wise, inside outside, and then we'll grind and polish the bottom, the raw part. So it'll be ground and polished on the bottom, and then flour on the inside. So that's pretty much our broadcast for today. We can go back over here for a sec. Again, we have bottle stoppers, which are really cool. So red flower, red rose. We have classic wisteria. Oh, those are $50 for the bottle stoppers. Classic wisteria and round wisteria, both in the midnight blue, and those are $180 a piece. We have the wine goblets, which are $49 each. And then we have the heart bowls, which are $98 a piece. Now, hopefully you got an email from us yesterday or the day before. And we are having a special, so check your emails, make sure I'm not in your spam folder, and we have a Festing in Place special that's going to happen from today until May 2nd, which are the days of Jazz Fest.
So Tracy, when we have our Sunday get-together, I'll have to bring out a wine bottle stopper to put in our wine bottles.
Okay, so that's it for today. And as always, please go and help out your local shops, restaurants, galleries. Local people are the ones that really need your business. If you need glass, you can come to us, rosetreegallery.com. And again, like I said, there is a special going on, so if you haven't seen it in your inbox, please check it out. Facebook, we're Rosetree Blown Glass. Instagram, Rosetree Glass Gallery, and YouTube. All of these are on the YouTube channel, which is Rosetree Blown Glass Studio and Gallery. All right, another week is come and gone.
And it was nice spending the afternoon with you guys.
I can't believe that it's already almost end of May. But anyway.
No, end of April.
End of April. See, I'm thinking May, it's beginning of May coming up. As always, love one another, take care of one another. Thank you for following us. Thank you for your support. We'll see you all on Tuesday for who knows what.
All right,
Take
bye
care.
everybody.
Bye-bye.